Kicks 105.5, a good morning to you. I'm Sean Knight. On the line with me is Mr. Mike Barrett. Barrett, good morning. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing well. I have a feeling that you might get some phone calls today because of tree limbs or things that happen, of course, during storms, Mother Nature. Much like the phone line that you're hearing now. Always be careful of... No, you're never going to get to Broadway with that.
I'm trying to harmonize.
I know, and you're terrible at it. You sound awful. Thank goodness you have a full-time job selling insurance at Barrett Insurance Agency. Mike Barrett, Good Policies, as he does every Wednesday, joins us. Do you generally get a lot of, hey, I have to make a claim because a tree fell down due to the storm? At this juncture, you don't want to talk to somebody at the same time they're dealing with, oh, did you hear that?
Hey.
The big hum went away for a minute.
Whoa.
It thought you were so
Be
awful it didn't want to sing.
Quiet.
When you're adding, removing, or changing somebody on your vehicle policy, what does that entail? Quick phone call?
Yeah, and that's the thing. There's and I thought it'd be a good thing just to kind of like an insurance 101 discussion this morning. Something as basic and as simple as either adding a vehicle, removing a vehicle, swapping out a vehicle. These are things that it's interesting. People a lot of times will just maybe send me an email or give me a phone call like, yep, take the red Nissan off. Okay. What's the red Nissan? You have 3 Nissans. I don't know which one's red. So it's important to have the VIN. It's important to have an identifying marker of the vehicle. So some quick examples of things that we see often is take the red whatever vehicle make model it is off, which is okay if that's the only make model of that type on the policy. Another one is I sold the Chevy. Okay, what day? We need more info because we don't want to just remove it today. If you sold it last week, let's go ahead to the day after you sold it so that you had coverage up to the moment that you transfer the title to the new owner, and we will remove it that day. So it's very important to have just some of the basic infos. Always have the year, make, model, and VIN for the vehicle. Always have the specific date that you made this transaction. Another one, never let the auto dealership call on your behalf. Now, they will inevitably, in most cases, call your insurance agent or company because it is their interest to do so because they have now sold you a vehicle that highly likely is financed or leased, and the financial institution that they put you with is looking to make sure that you have insurance. So, of course, it's going to be something that they would do. But remember, the insurance contract of an auto policy is between you and the insurance company, not between you via another party and the insurance company.
It's interesting. When I call your phone, in the middle of the night, you actually have a disclaimer on it that says, whatever you say on here, I ain't actually doing. You got to call me in person. This is not illegal. It's like calling someplace and for some reason, I don't know why. I've called some of the weird, like Burger King. If this is an emergency, hang up and call 911. Why would I have called Burger King if I'm having a medical emergency anyway? But that's because of legality, right?
Yeah, and it's just a simple disclaimer that says, please note that coverage may not be bound, altered, or canceled through the use of voicemail. Now, what does that really mean? It just means that by simply you leaving a voicemail, that does not mean that you're all set. You need to hear back from us that we have acknowledged this, and it's still incumbent upon you to make sure that the change has taken place, that either you've received updated email or correspondence electronically through your provider or via the traditional postal service. But we, certainly when people email or leave us voicemails, we will do the requested change. But we just want them to know that, just because you left that voicemail at 1 a.m. on a Friday morning, that it's not done at 1 a.m. But the good thing is most of these changes, there's a timetable. You have a period of time to report a change to your policy. So it's not like, the only a handful of examples that I could provide. Let's say you have a 20-year-old car and you've decided to go get a new one or a new-to-you one that will be financed. Let's say that 20-year-old car has liability only on your existing insurance policy. You go out and get that other car on a weekend or after hours, that's a time that you can't necessarily report to your insurance. The broadest coverage on your auto policy automatically applies to the new vehicle. Well, potentially you will have some gap in coverage there, because if you need physical damage like comp and collision, that's not automatically on your policy. So it's important to be prepared and have a dialogue with, okay, how can we make sure this happens if I do happen to get something that needs these changes after hours? If you have a policy that has the quote-unquote full coverage, you're good. The broadest coverage will automatically apply to your new vehicle, giving you time to report it to your insurance company.
Really quick question before you go. If I sell my car today to Bob, Bob drives away and gets into an auto accident, am I on the hook for that?
So it depends. I mean, if you have a bill of sale and a transfer of the title to Bob, you have released yourself from the liability exposure of that vehicle.
Should you put the time that this occurs on there? Like, if I sell it to him at 3 and he crashes at 4, but I haven't had a chance to call you yet.
See, that's the beauty of it, is that, you potentially would be implicated. It depends on the circumstances, of course, but you would have coverage. That's why whenever somebody tells me, okay, I sold my vehicle today, we remove it effective tomorrow. And what time tomorrow does it come off? 12:01 a.m. So literally the second that it turns tomorrow, we remove that vehicle. That vehicle becomes removed. So that you had coverage up through that transfer of the ownership, up through that last moment of you owning the vehicle, just to be safe. Because insurance transactions, when I bind coverage, I bind it at a day and a time when I write something new. But when it comes to other transactions, it's always going to be at 12:01 a.m. on the day that we choose to change.
All right. Well, our time is up, brother. I love you. Do me a favor. Hang on the line for a second, all right?
Before I go, I want to wish somebody very special a happy birthday, my beautiful, lovely bride who makes me a better person every day, even though she doesn't know it. Jen Barrett, celebrating a birthday today. She's
21 again. 21 again.
That's the appropriate. Yes, 21 again. She's 21 again today.
Happy birthday, dear Jen. All right, my friend. I hope you have a great day.